Your story really resonated with me because sometimes I find myself doing things not because I want to do them, but because I think I should do them. And I'm trying to figure out, when do you let something go, even though it's hard, but it's not hard because it's difficult. It's hard because it doesn't really resonate with you. And lean into the things that really makes you get passion and really makes you feel good about doing it. And I'm just trying to figure that out right now.
That's such a good question. Such a good question, because there's that balance between doing what you need to grow and doing what you don't need to do at all. One of the things that's going to help you is to make sure you're starting in an aligned frame of success. So at this point, it's really walk down the paths that you have open to you.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the excitement. See where you're hitting roadblocks and see where you're getting flow. And also be open to pivoting as well. Welcome to Transform with Jason Drees. Don't forget to join me every Monday at 10 a.m. Central for a free mindset alignment. Go to mondaymindsetreset.com to sign up. On today's episode, I got a former JDC client with me, Ken McKimsey Middleton. He's 43 years old. He's married. He's from Atlanta. He stopped drinking 5 years ago and started, I believe, a program that's called Alcohol Is Not Your Friend, ANUF. Also published his first book, Bamboozled, How Alcohol Makes Fools of All of Us. Congrats on getting your first book out there, Ken. And welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm good, Jason. Thanks for the opportunity.
Definitely. So let's dive in. What should we talk about? What do you want some coaching on today?
Jason, the thing I would love to talk to you about is really what I learned the first time I listened to you. And it's around, how do you lean into what gives you strength and what your purpose is? Your story really resonated with me because sometimes I find myself doing things not because I want to do them, but because I think I should do them. And I'm trying to figure out, when do you let something go, even though it's hard, but it's not hard because it's difficult. It's hard because it doesn't really resonate with you. And lean into the things that really makes you get passion and really makes you feel good about doing it. And I'm just trying to figure that out right now.
That's such a good question. Such a good question. Because there's that balance between doing what you need to grow and doing what you don't need to do at all.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me more. What is the thing you're thinking about doing that you need to do?
This is perfect. So in relation to the book Bamboozled, I was thinking I wanted to go on a speaking tour, college campuses, and really put it out there. But I've got to be honest with you, Jason, when I thought about doing it, it did not excite me. It was something where I felt like I wanted to do it because it felt like the right thing to do, but not what really gave me energy and excitement. So now I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to let Bamboozle go, but I want to then identify what are the other areas that I think I can potentially lean into to continually to market the book, do it in a manner that gives me energy, excitement, and makes me want to do it every day.
Okay. So thanks for sharing the situation. Can we focus your question a little bit more? Are you looking at, do you have options right now?
Yeah.
Do you not have options of what to do? Are you?
Yeah. So I thought about doing a podcast, and then I didn't think that was really the road for me, in regards to just the amount of work that you have to do in it. It didn't seem to be where I wanted to spend my energy. So I then thought that maybe I can do a hybrid version in which I spend time or work with other authors like myself and focus on male sobriety. So it'd be a podcast, but it'd be a once a month podcast as opposed to a once a week podcast, to see if that could be something that I can still push the book out there. And in my opinion, it excites me more because that is an area that I think male sobriety really needs to be leaned into. So that's something I'm thinking about right now that could be the answer to what I'm looking for.
Okay. And that makes sense, right? And I always am a firm believer in following excitement as an indicator of intuition.
Yeah.
Now tell me a little bit more about you. What do you do what's your income coming from? Do you have a job?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm in sales. So I've been doing sales for the past, I don't know, 15 years or so. And I'm at a kind of a turning point, if you will, in which I really am starting to just not like working for other people. I don't, it just, it all, look, it's not, and I've come to the realization, Jason, that it's not the other people, it's me. It's not they're doing anything wrong. It's that it's hard for me now, as opposed to when I was younger, to just know that I don't have full control of my time and what I want to do. So what I'm thinking now is that I'm trying to figure out what is that next step for me to get out of corporate America and go on my own and what that looks like.
Okay, so I can completely relate, right? I did 14 years in the corporate space 15 years before I kind of got kicked out, basically. I've literally been fired from half of the jobs I've had because I get it, right? I get it. So you're at the beginning stages of being an entrepreneur. You've got a vision. And ANUF, is that a program? I'm sorry if I misunderstood. What ANUF is?
Yeah, it's a Medium publication, so it's on the Medium platform, and it's just a writing. People write about their experience with alcohol.
Okay, so it's like a community, basically.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a focus area. You've got a subject that you're passionate about. You've written a book, which is awesome. You've got a community. You have other writers following you there. So then it's really like, how do you monetize that?
That's part of it. Absolutely.
So, and at this point you can be sitting here going, oh, I could start a mastermind. I could start a coaching program. I could do podcast tours. I could do speaking, right? And those are all ways to do that. Podcast as well. And this is less of a coaching answer as more of a mentoring answer. Is one of the things that's going to help you is to make sure you're starting in an aligned frame of success.
Okay.
Right. And so, for example, like try this statement out loud. I'm going to guide you a little bit here. So try this out loud. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it.
I take full ownership of my life and everything in it.
I am going to figure out how to leave the corporate world. Create my own income source. Do something I'm passionate about. And spread my message even more. Even if I don't know how. Because I'm not going to stop until I do. Okay. How's that feel?
It feels good. It feels like something I do believe.
Great. So I just wanted to guide you to that because that's an aligned frame at like a macro level, right? That's like the global. So at the macro level, it's going to happen 100%. We just, at the micro level, we don't know how. So number one, start with an aligned frame. Okay. Now the next thing is like, this is where we get more into like a mentoring type of answer is like, which direction do you go? You've seen people do books, coaching, mentors, podcasts, speaking, masterminds, programs, retreats. There's all of those things. Right now, you don't know. You've got ideas. So at this point, it's really walk down the paths that you have open to you. Follow the excitement. See where you're hitting roadblocks and see where you're getting flow.
Okay.
And also be open to pivoting as well. Now, it could be an entire organization based off of the book and methodology. It could be something related to that. It could be a pivot off that. It could be a series of books that helps men. We don't know. Right. But that content flowed through you. So you're a conduit for content. So it's really what steps can you take right now?
I would, no, I understand. I see what you're saying, because that is one of the things I shared about joining the mastermind is around action. And part of that action is trying different things. For me, what we're really leading to, my wife and I, is real estate. And we're trying to explore, is that something we want to do full time as investors to grow our portfolio? So then we could look at how do we use our flexible time to pursue other things as well.
Okay. How long have you been in this spot of looking for a decision or an answer?
I would say 6 months to a year, probably about a year.
Okay. I would maybe make the recommendation that you can change your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not just sit here analyzing for 2 more years. You know, you and your wife could take some additional action about real estate investing. I'm sure you'd love the results of real estate investing, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So again, it's like which avenues are open to you to take action on right now?
Yeah. Well, I think the real estate is one that we started like, so I've been thinking about it for the last year, like trying to figure out, looking at different areas. And probably in the last month, maybe 2 to 3 weeks is when we really honed in on real estate as
Okay.
being what we think is the avenue.
Okay. Have you purchased any real estate investments so far?
In the past, we have 2 properties.
Okay.
And so
Awesome.
we've done it previously.
Okay. Well, maybe go do another one.
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Okay. Okay. What's your time frame on the next one?
So hopefully 30 days is what we're trying to put a time cap. Like we're saying, we want to box it in, because here's what happened before. We looked at this about 4 or 5 years ago. We owned 3, we sold 1, and now we own 2. And what happened, Jason, was we bought the first 3. We started doing it. We started looking at more. And then it was like, this might be a little too challenging. And so I backed away from it. And now when I think about it, had I just pushed through that 5 years ago, look where I could be now, had I just understood that if anything is worth something, it's not going to always be easy. Do you have the wherewithal to do it? There's a difference when I don't want to do it and it's hard, or versus it's hard, but I want to do it. And this is it's hard, but I want to do it. I just need to go do it. And so to your point, we're saying we're going to get off the pot and get it done. Less 30 days, let's buy something and go from there. That's our mindset now.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a clear, aligned strategy.
Yeah.
And what I'll throw out there when I talk to real estate investors is that those obstacles is part of being a real estate investor. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
So my other suggestion would be to expect those obstacles. Now, of course, try to avoid them, but not be shocked by them when they come up.
Yeah. I would agree.
Because
Go ahead.
You've got success as a real estate investor already, which is fantastic. Even doing it part-time over the next 5-10 years will continue to build wealth as well while you continue to explore your passion.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that's the lesson I learned over the past 5 years. To your point, Jason, it's like, it is part of the game. Like, you're not an investor if things go perfect, because nothing's going to go perfect.
No.
And And so when I had that paradigm shift, and it almost made me think like, actually, it's good if it's hard, because if it's challenging, that means more people aren't going to do it. Yep. So if you get through it, you have less competition on the other side.
So what may help you is to set like a known goal and an unknown goal, right? Known goals are goals we've done before, we know how to do. Unknown goals are goals we have not done before, we do not know how to do. So a known goal is add another property to the portfolio, expand the portfolio. Now, you may get into unknown if you did multifamily or a different type of real estate, but for the most part, you know how to acquire another property. So that's a goal that's very easy to action on, right? So you can consistent action on that. So you can have like, okay, my known goal here, we're gonna add to the portfolio. My stretch goal or my impossible goal is find a way to monetize from my brand. And that's where we try different things. You may, if the podcast is interesting, but only once a month, that's fine. I would action a little bit on it and see how it flows. Like if you're sitting here and the name pops up and then all this stuff, boom, 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 and all this stuff pops up. If you think about going to a college campus and you're like, oh my God, you're avoid, that's not the way there. But I would look and also I would look around your immediate community, right? You have a career, you have a network already. A lot of times, one of the easiest places to get started in your own business is where you're already doing business. Maybe there's a pivot there. Maybe there's another way to monetize that. If maybe you like public speaking, maybe you want to start a coaching thing or mentor men, or but the community is like, if you're looking at the people who are really growing, like as Brian Lubin, you're following him, Action Academy, and Jamie Gruber, those guys have exploded. They're on social media over the past like year. It's because they're building communities. So building a community with your ANUF, that's huge. So building communities, and then you could always build a membership community, or build a Facebook group and build that, and and then you could even like build a Facebook community about ANUF. And then you could say, all right, well, men want more. Maybe they want some coaching through this process. You could create a coaching program. And if you're like, I don't know how to coach, you could go find a coach and help them build a program for you. There's lots of ways.
Yeah. So it's almost like, to your point, just get started going down a direction and see where it takes you from there.
Yeah. Because a lot of times when I'm talking to people, they're sitting there going, I'm looking at 3 paths. Which one should I do? And it's like, well, we don't know yet. So you have to walk down all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another question that we can throw out there. If success was guaranteed and you could not fail, what would you do between now and the end of the year with that brand?
With the brand?
Or like to monetize, to get out of the W-2, like that direction?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Justin, because there's some things that it doesn't excite me to do. Like going around and speaking to people. I think I wouldn't mind doing the speaking if I could go speak to companies and corporations and their employees about alcohol. Like speaking in stadiums to a bunch of people doesn't excite me at all. I don't have a fear of doing it. It just doesn't jazz me. But speaking in smaller, intimate sessions, like a company setting, talking to employees about the dangers of alcohol and how they could be more productive at their job if they change their relationship, I feel like that would be more exciting. And I hope that would parlay me into selling a buttload of books from that,
Yeah, that sounds like the exact thing an HR department and a corporate company would invest in for their employees.
Yeah. I definitely thought, I haven't done anything with it, but you're right. I've thought about that avenue. And to your point, maybe I just need to walk down it more and see what happens.
If it's interesting and it's exciting to you, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can talk to one of your clients that has a business. Are you B2B sales?
Yeah, B2B.
Yeah, so 100%. You know lots of companies.
We do. I do, 100%. Yeah.
Yep.
And I could just get their thoughts on it. So I just got to find the right contact to get this going.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, man, I feel good. This has been helpful. I mean, for me, it's around, it's validation of what I was already thinking, which is go out and try something, see how it feels. And if it feels good and you feel good about it, continue to go down that path. But if you feel like it's not really resonating with your core, not hard, because there's a difference. Anything that's worth something is going to be hard, but you're not getting excited about doing it. Maybe it's not the direction I should be going. Yes,
right. And you can use that question, if success was guaranteed, would I do it anyway? Because if it's a direction that includes a lot of growth for you that makes you uncomfortable, that question removes any limited mindset point of view.
Okay.
So if you're trying to validate this direction, say, well, if I was guaranteed success, would I do it? Then if you still get a no answer, then your intuition saying that's not the direction. But if you say, yeah, I would, then the resistance is in the process.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's not the fear of doing it. It's just that you're not really wanting to do it. If you're saying I still wouldn't do it if success is guaranteed. So it's not there in your core.
Yes. And also at the same time, now you may be working full time in the sales job. You may be doing some real estate on the side and not at the moment executing around the book or the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the frame where you are making progress, because
with the
thinking
brand
is progress. So you want to be in the frame always that it is moving forward. I'm thinking through the process. And what I would I haven't read the book and, or the community, but you wrote a book. So you're a conduit for information. What you probably should do is keep writing.
Okay.
Whether it's a newsletter, a simple blog, or social media content, like the more that's going to also help too, because if there's more with that brand, you're going to channel and conduct more is going to flow through you, and it could be a different book on top of that.
Right. Gotcha.
Because like for me, this information for me just does all this coaching stuff. It just doesn't stop. It literally doesn't stop. It's just, I'm a conduit for this flow of information. So I would encourage you to also maybe look at a second book or keep writing. And you can even just write a blog post and post it on your Facebook page. Like you don't have to build a website and anything there, but you're basically just still putting content out there. That way you're in the process of evolving that, even though you don't know the specifics yet. And you're not at the point where maybe all the strategies haven't come to you yet, but you're operating from a frame of alignment where it's going to happen.
Gotcha. And by continuing to produce content, I give myself the opportunity to create that new thing that could be the spark.
Yes.
That gets it going. Okay.
Yeah. That's what my intuition is saying. Like, keep doing that. Like you got that one done. That's fantastic. Like my book, which was published almost 2 years ago, is outdated now, because I've got better tools now.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I think, and it sounds like continuing that content may keep you fresh and find more inspiration.
Yes. I mean, I do enjoy writing, and I do enjoy helping people. So for me, it's just finding what is the best avenue for me to do that in a way that keeps me excited and jazzed about doing the work and is providing the most value to the people that I want to help. So,
well, podcasts are great for that.
Yeah. Which I think I will tell you. So to your point about, hey, execute on the once a month thing, we are executing on it. We're having a conversation at 7:00 tonight with my other 4 members, and we're planning. And I thought the same thing, Jason. It's like, hey, let's just start doing it. And if it's terrible and we don't like to do it, then it doesn't work out. But if it's good and we're all excited and it's something that's providing value to the people we want to provide value to, let's see what happens.
I would also challenge you to do a monologue session.
Okay.
Where just you talking.
Okay.
Maybe don't worry about just talking for 30 minutes, but even 8 to 10 to 15. Some of my first podcasts that I monologued was just like 8 minutes of content. So I would encourage you to test that out to see how it goes.
Okay.
Now you can script it out if you want to. You could also just turn on the mic and start talking.
And when you're saying I'm just sharing my thoughts about men in sobriety and how they need to, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because, everybody's doing the whole interviews, right? And some people are born to do we tried to do that style at the beginning of my podcast, and literally we couldn't do it because I'm not an interviewer. I'm a coach. So I'd always turn into coaching. So I'm like, might as well make it coaching. So I coach and then I do monologues. So that's what I do. Although I haven't done any monologue sessions in a while. But you get to do it however you want,
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, it's something that I will say I'm pretty excited about because I don't think there's enough in the market talking about it. There are a few people that James Swanick does a really good job out there talking about it. I think Andy Worrell does a good job as well, if I'm saying his name right. But I still think there's room for more people. So
don't worry about the competition at all, because there's only one Ken McKimsey Middleton, only one.
Yeah.
There is no other you. So there's nobody can compete with you.
Right.
Stay in your voice, follow what excites you, and speak what's true to you, and then you have no competition.
Gotcha. Sounds good. No, I believe it. Yeah. I've fortunately got to the age where I'm like, trying to be somebody else is too hard, dude. Way too hard. So much easier to be myself. So no, I feel you.
Yeah. And that's what everybody connects with. So just be yourself. Sounds simple. It's actually kind of hard, but it's rather simple, actually.
Yeah, no doubt. No. I couldn't agree more. 100%. So, no one can be me better than I can be me. So why try to be somebody else?
All right, Ken, are you good?
I'm good, man. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate you spending the time.
Yeah, it was great to connect with you today. I'm excited to see where you go. So keep me updated, okay?
Okay, will do.
And thanks for everyone else for listening. I'm Jason Drees. This is Transform. with Jason Drees. To get your own free experience of coaching, go to freeintrosession.com and get your free 20-minute frame alignment session. It'll change your life. Take care. I'll see you on next week's episode. Okay, bye-bye.